Hello and welcome back everyone. I hope you are doing good. I'm Alicia. So my last video was on the topic Union Budget for the fiscal year 2024 and 25, and I'm almost coming back after a year on the same topic, which is on the Union Budget for the fiscal year 2025 and 26. So today we're going to talk about the key timeline for Union Budget 2025 and 26 and the key terms you need to know. Okay, so let's get into this in detail. So usually budget speeches follows a familiar scripts, but this year feels different. If you want to sum up the budget in one word, it would be pivot. India is facing global headwinds. It still remains world's fastest growing major economy, and the growth rate has fallen below 7%. There is a job crisis combined with growing inflation and falling avenues of investment. Adding to the complications is the return of Donald Trump in America, and trade dynamics of major powers is shifting the global economy itself, is showing signs of weakness. So how can India continue to grow in this challenging environment? So the government is rejigging its priorities to revive growth, that is fewer mega projects or big tickets initiates. Instead, the focus has shifted to the common man, the middle class. It is a back to the basic budget guided by new philosophy and a fresh set of priorities. Let me bring you all the top 10 highlights. Topping the list, of course, is a tax break for the middle class. If you earn 12 lakh Indian rupees in a year or around 14,000 US dollars, you will pay no income tax. And this tax is for those who opt for the new regime. Earlier, the threshold for this was 7 lakh rupees. Now the government has raised it to 12 lakh rupees. Some exemptions have been hiked as well. We will break this down in greater detail in few minutes. But yeah, like the finance minister said, the goal is to reduce the tax burden on the middle class on India, which brings me to the second highlight, the income tax laws. They're about to undergo significant changes. Probably next week, Nirmala Sitharaman will bring a new income tax bill. So the new income tax law has two new laws. First is to reduce tax litigation, and second is to simplify tax laws to make them easy to understand. The finance minister shared a key insight today. So India currently tax law dates back to 1961. It has 23 chapters and 298 sections. But the new tax bill will be 60% shorter, so that the government could do away with multiple archaic provisions in India's tax law. And these changes won't come cheap. Government revenues will take a hit, and around $11.6 billion hit. This is because of the reduced tax rates. Nonetheless, the government plans to invest in higher growth sectors, and that's the highlight number 3. Funding for startups. The government of India will infuse 10,000 crores for this, and the money will be directed towards an existing fund, a fund that was created back in 2016, and both the government and private sector players have contributed to this fund. So far, more than 1,100 startups have received fundings from this entity, and they need more support going forward. And Indian startups have been struggling. There has been a funding winter of sorts, especially in the tech sector. The government latest cash infusion could jumpstart new investments. Highlight number 4 is about artificial intelligence. The government wants to build a center artificial intelligence excellence. 500 crore rupees have been set aside for this. No one can afford to ignore AI anymore. It is the next big thing, also the new battleground for global powers. But AI excellence requires relentless investment, and this can't be limited to a AI infrastructure alone. India needs right talent pool, and this budget has a provision for that also. The government has set aside funds for 30 new skills centers. Again, they will focus on AI along with robotics and the Internet of Things. The government is also incentivizing MSMEs. That's highlight number 5. MSMEs are micro, small, and medium enterprises. They will be receiving a better credit guarantee. They are now eligible for 20 crore of collateral free credit. Earlier this limit was 10 crore, but it's 20 crore now. So the government has essentially doubled their credit guarantee, and businesses are also getting some tax reliefs. Let's come to the highlight number 6. Custom and tariffs have been slashed on multiple goods. The government is simplifying this tariff structure. Currently there are 15 different tariff rates. Now 7 of them will be removed. Basic custom duties on multiple products are also being cut. This includes 12 critical minerals, 35 capital goods used for manufacturing of EVs, and 36 life-saving drugs, and this includes cancer treatment also. Highlight number 7 is infrastructure. Nearly a decade now, the Indian government has prioritized infrastructure spending. The goal was to drive growth and create jobs, and this year is no different. Government will invest almost $130 billion in infrastructure, and the money will go towards building roads and railways and ports. And let's come to the highlight number 8. It is on FDI. That's foreign direct investment. There was some announcement on this front too. They have removed FDI limits in the insurance sector. So now foreign companies can invest up to 100% in India. Highlight number 9 is government finances. How is the government managing its expenses? Well, spending still exceeds earning. This year the fiscal deficit stands at 4.8%. Fiscal deficit is basically the gap between government spending and earning. That is a deficit. And while the government is running a deficit, it seems to be under control. Now in the next financial year, the government plans to bring the deficit down to 4.4%. Time for the highlight number 10. The new priorities for the government. Like I said, with this budget they are making a pivot, focusing on new things. The government has identified 6 domains for this: taxation, power, urban development, financial sector, mining, and regulatory reforms. And the finance minister is promising transformational reforms in these areas. So that was the budget for you. It is very clear that the government is taking new approach. The global landscape is more challenging than before.